What if a tiny parasite could hijack your brain, turning you into a puppet with no control over your thoughts? It sounds like science fiction, but it might not be. In 2025, science is advancing faster than ever. Neuroscience, virology, and biotechnology are revealing strange and frightening possibilities. Some parasites can quietly control behavior, and new viruses may one day alter our brain circuits. These discoveries blur the line between science and horror. Could humanity face a future where our own thoughts are no longer our own? The risks are real, and the science is only beginning. The parasite that already controls minds. Did you know a parasite carried by your pet cat could be messing with your head right now? Meet Toxoplasma Gondii, a single-celled organism that infects up to a third of the global population. Found in cat feces, undercooked meat, and contaminated water, this tiny parasite doesn't just hide in your body. It actively seeks your brain. Studies published in Nature 2020 revealed that toxoplasma can alter neural pathways and influence behavior in eerie ways. Infected rodents, for instance, lose their natural fear of cats, making them easy prey. This is not accidental, it's evolution's way of ensuring the parasite spreads. Now imagine that same mechanism in humans. Research from the University of Chicago, 2023, suggests that humans infected with toxoplasma may exhibit subtle personality changes. Some studies link it to serious psychiatric conditions like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. While the effects are generally mild, the implications are unnerving. A microscopic invader hidden within your brain, subtly influencing your choices and behaviors. And you might never know it. And this is only the beginning. Toxoplasma is just one of many microscopic puppeteers quietly at work in our bodies. The viral threat. Could a virus hijack your brain? What if a virus could rewrite your thoughts, turning you into someone or something else? Viruses are masters of stealth, far more insidious than any parasite. They infiltrate cells, hijack cellular machinery, and replicate silently, often without immediate detection. Some viruses already manipulate behavior in subtle but profound ways. Rabies, for example, is infamous for altering the behavior of its hosts. According to the World Health Organization, rabid animals, and occasionally humans, exhibit aggression, hyperactivity, and a compulsion to bite, directly promoting the virus's spread. This is nature's blueprint for a behavioral pathogen. But what if new viruses are already evolving to manipulate humans on a larger scale? In 2024, virologists at Stanford University identified a novel neurotropic virus in bats, named EmPY&x. Laboratory experiments revealed its unnerving ability to infect human neural cells. While it hasn't reached the public yet, EmPY&x demonstrated potential to disrupt dopamine levels, which could alter mood, cognition, and decision-making. A virus like this, if it mutated to spread efficiently among humans, could trigger unprecedented consequences: mindless aggression, impulsive actions, or compulsive behaviors. The boundaries between self-control and external influence could vanish. Some viruses already hint at this terrifying potential. Herpes simplex, for example, can remain dormant in neurons for decades, only to reactivate and cause neurological symptoms later in life. Scientists now recognize that viral influence on human cognition is not mere science fiction. A virus designed or accidentally evolved to manipulate the human mind could, in theory, override free will. Imagine waking up one day, unsure if your thoughts belong to you or to a silent invader guiding your actions. The implications are staggering. Beyond aggression, a mind-altering virus could subtly tweak emotions, erode empathy, or shift moral judgment, making victims vulnerable to manipulation. This scenario transforms the traditional idea of a pandemic. It's no longer just about bodies, but minds. Even in controlled laboratory settings, viruses like EmPY&x show that the science is moving toward the frighteningly plausible. Behavioral virology, a once fringe field, is gaining traction because researchers see the very real potential for viruses to reshape human behavior. And unlike physical illness, this threat could be invisible, insidious, and nearly impossible to detect until the effects are already widespread. What if the next pandemic isn't measured in fevers or coughs, but in lost thoughts, altered personalities, and minds hijacked by microscopic invaders? The line between science fiction and emerging reality is blurring. As our understanding of neurotropic viruses grows, so too does the chilling question, how close are we to a world where our own biology can betray our free will? The zombie myth meets science. Zombies are fiction, right? Or is science catching up to the horror movies? Zombies, shambling, mindless creatures driven by instinct, have long been a metaphor for our fear of losing control. But the real world offers unsettling analogs. Take the fungus Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, which infects ants and hijacks their nervous systems, forcing them to climb vegetation and die in a way that spreads fungal spores. A 2021 study in Science detailed how the fungus rewires neural circuits, effectively turning ants into puppets. Now consider what might happen if a similar mechanism occurred in humans. Neuroscientists at MIT 2024 cautioned that advances in synthetic biology and genetic engineering could accidentally create pathogens capable of altering human cognition. Imagine a lab-engineered virus, initially intended for medical research, mutating to target the prefrontal cortex, the area of your brain responsible for decision-making, judgment, and self-control. Suddenly, your personality is no longer yours. You're driven by impulses, compulsions, or worse, the directives of someone or something else. It's a chilling thought, but the science shows it's theoretically possible. The role of technology in a mind control apocalypse. What if technology, meant to save us, becomes the tool of our enslavement? In 2025, brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, are no longer science fiction. Devices like Neuralink connect human brains to computers, enabling medical therapies and cognitive enhancements. Yet every new technology carries risks. A 2024 report in the Journal of Cybersecurity warned that BCIs could be hacked, manipulating neural signals to program behavior. Combine this with a parasite or virus, and the result could be catastrophic. Governments and corporations are racing to integrate AI with BCIs for seamless human-machine interaction. But what if a malicious actor or a rogue AI gains access? A virus that targets the brain, coupled with compromised neural implants, could amplify its effects. The result? Humans rendered as obedient, pliable drones. Conspiracy theories about mind control chips may sound far-fetched, but when combined with real biological threats, the idea isn't entirely science fiction. The global risk. Are we prepared? Could a parasite or virus spark a global catastrophe before we even notice? The COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated how quickly a pathogen can spread worldwide. Now imagine a pathogen that doesn't just make you sick, it fundamentally alters who you are. The World Health Organization's 2025 Global Health Report identified neurological pathogens as an emerging threat, highlighting their potential to disrupt societies by manipulating behavior on a massive scale. And our defenses are not ready. Neurological testing is complex and expensive. Most countries lack infrastructure to detect subtle behavioral changes in populations. A 2024 CDC simulation of a hypothetical neurotropic virus outbreak predicted that within 6 months, 40% of a city's population could exhibit altered behavior, ranging from aggression to apathy or blind obedience. By the time we notice, containment may be impossible. In short, the global risk is real, silent, and potentially devastating. It's a ticking time bomb lurking in plain sight. The ethics of mind control research. Are scientists playing God with your brain? Research into mind-altering pathogens and neurotechnologies promises groundbreaking medical advances. By studying how organisms like Toxoplasma Gondii or experimental agents such as EmPY&x influence cognition and behavior, researchers hope to develop treatments for psychiatric disorders, neurodegenerative diseases, and traumatic brain injuries. Imagine restoring memory in Alzheimer's patients or alleviating severe depression through targeted interventions. The potential is enormous and life-changing. Yet the same discoveries that could heal might also be misused. Military programs have long explored the idea of cognitive enhancement. DARPA's 2023 Neurotech Initiative, for example, investigated methods to improve soldiers' focus, resilience, and even fear responses. While designed to protect, such technologies raise chilling possibilities: manipulation of emotions, suppression of dissent, or forced behavioral control. The ethical line is perilously thin. What separates therapy from coercion? Who decides which minds can be altered and under what circumstances? The possibility of weaponization or abuse looms large. Ultimately, the question is not just scientific, it is deeply moral. How far should humanity push its understanding of the brain before we risk losing autonomy over the very minds we aim to understand? In the race for knowledge and power, the stakes could not be higher. How to protect yourself? Can you shield your mind from invisible invaders? While a full-blown zombie apocalypse remains unlikely, real-world precautions matter more than ever. Hygiene is your first line of defense. Cook meat thoroughly, wash fruits and vegetables carefully, and avoid handling cat litter if you're pregnant or immunocompromised, as it can harbor parasites like Toxoplasma Gondii. Regular medical checkups are also vital. Subtle changes in behavior or mood can sometimes indicate early-stage infections, giving you a chance to intervene before problems escalate. And technology vigilance is key. Modern brain-computer interfaces and other experimental devices hold incredible promise, but they come with risks. Only use devices with strong cybersecurity protocols, and be cautious about connecting experimental tech to the internet. Hackers or malicious software could, in theory, target neurological devices. So staying informed is essential. Trusted sources like the World Health Organization, WHO, or the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, provide accurate updates on biological threats and tech safety guidelines. Will we master our minds, or will they master us? The science of mind control is advancing faster than our ability to regulate it. CRISPR gene editing technology, 2025, could neutralize pathogens before they establish themselves in humans. AI-driven diagnostics may detect early neurological changes, potentially preventing outbreaks before they spiral out of control. But we must act now. Public awareness, ethical oversight, and global cooperation are essential to preventing a mind control apocalypse. The alternative, a world where thoughts are no longer our own, is a terrifying possibility, closer than we may want to admit. So what's it going to be? Will you take control of your mind, or let something else pull the strings? This is not just a story, it's a warning. Parasites, viruses, and emerging technologies are real, and the threats they pose to our autonomy are growing. Humanity stands at a crossroads. We can act, protect our minds, and regulate dangerous research. Stay vigilant. Stay informed. Above all, stay human. If you love this, subscribe and join the conversation in the comments. More futuristic content are on the way. Thank you.